Welcome to Whiskey and Windage, the two-way podcast for the people, by the people. My name's Adam from Silver Bullet. I'm joined along with my co-host Mike from OCA and Matt from Burning Powder. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing great, dude. Doing great. Having a good time. Matt, what's up with you, homie?
Blessed, man. Just happy to be here. We have a great show tonight, so just stoked. Happy.
Dude,
awesome.
Honestly, we always say this. Sorry to cut you off, Adam, but we always say, welcome to Whiskey and Windage. Man, we have a great show lined up for you today. We always say that. But
not tonight's the night.
Yeah. It's a good show, for sure.
Maybe we should do it again and be like, welcome to Whiskey and Windage, the two-way podcast. We have a shit-ass show for you tonight. It's going to be boring. Like, I don't know. We do something different just to switch it up, but I don't know.
I mean,
whatever works.
Yeah, you know, the thumbnail sold. If you saw the thumbnail for this podcast, it already sold itself.
Yeah, no shit.
Amen.
Facts.
Yeah. So what's up? What's up, Adam? How's everything going?
Man, it's been a week. I got some stuff to share, but we're going to wait on that, guys. We know SHOT Show happened. Yeah, we know SHOT Show happened, but I think we're ready. Let's get right into it, John. We got a good show today, but let's get right into that two-way news.
Hell yeah. Biggest news in 2A, of course, is SHOT Show. That just got wrapped up this weekend. There's already been a bunch of amazing content all week coming from creators all over YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. So with that, make sure to thank the people that are doing that. They are there, you know, they are there on their own business doing whatever. And they take the time to produce that content to make sure that if you're not at SHOT Show, you still get to see some of that cool stuff, some of the best things coming out. If you follow anybody that's doing that, make sure to like their posts, ask a couple questions down in the comment, and just show some love. On that subject, we want to thank somebody who's really super important to Whiskey and Windage, has been a member of the family since the very beginning. And this year, when we couldn't physically be there, this friend took Whiskey and Windage to SHOT Show and made sure that our name was there and that people were going to know who we are. And so we want to give a special thanks, a special shout out to Staccato Pam.
Man.
So
Pam.
We want to thank you, Pam. We love you.
Man, it was, it sounds really stupid when I say this to people, and unless you've had something similar happen to you like this, you may not understand it. But to have something as simple as a t-shirt, you know, get shipped out to somebody that supports you and, you know, well-deserved, they, you know, wear it proudly or don't, they have that option. And there's so many things that she could have worn to SHOT Show. And she chose to wear on one of those days a Whiskey and Windage shirt. And like I said earlier, a little bit of FOMO going on, not being there, but every picture we saw with every person for that one day wearing Whiskey and Windage, it was just exciting. It was like, man, like
super cool.
Yeah.
People saw that. You know, there's no telling who it influenced or affected. You know, I'm sure there's an analytic, and I'm not saying it's big. Even on the smallest, even if one person said, "Yeah, man, it's a cool shirt." Who are they? What is that? Like, just that. It means the world to us. So thank you, Pam.
Yeah, big thanks. All I have to say about that is one thing, and Pam will understand this. I created a hashtag a while ago. It's hashtag love Pam, and I always hashtag that to Pam or anything she says sweet. So hashtag love Pam.
Hashtag love Pam. Amen. So
awesome. What else we got going in the news, Matt?
The next big thing in the news, now that we've got SHOT Show out of the way, it was great, but we got a whole year of 2A events, 2A news going, and the next big one is going to be Pew Party 3, and that's down in Waxahachie, Texas, down in Adams' neck of the woods. That's going to be March the 23rd.
Correct.
Huge event. It's a full auto event, and there's always a lot of really cool content that comes out of there. A lot of cool people going to be showing up, a lot of bullets, a lot of machine guns. Super exciting. So
more important than the bullets, there's going to be a lot more laughs, a lot more smiles, and a lot more brotherhood and community growth. That's super important, and I know that's important to Jay and Juan. And to piggyback off what you said, Matt, we've got Jay and Juan penciled in to come on the show in February. They've already agreed to a date. We're going to either be dropping that podcast one of the last 2 Tuesdays of February, either the 20th or 27th. We want to give the people enough time who listen, time to decide, and hopefully it's not a decision. We want to give them enough time to get their travel in order, get a ticket, even general admission. I think general admission is $49.
Yes.
Now there is a bigger package. You can look up the price yourself, but there's a bigger package. You get to, potentially do a nighttime clay shoot the night before if it's still open. But if not, you can shoot from a helicopter if that's your cup of tea. I mean, it's definitely going to be a really cool show. But Jay and Juan are coming on. They're going to talk more about it and tell people how they can get there and how to prepare.
Hell yeah.
And then we got one last show, dude, that's like right up Matt's alley.
I think I'm gonna miss it this year. Next year is gonna be my big year for shows, but right after Pew Party 3 in April, we've got Kalash Bash, and that one's wild. It's like they say it's a mix between like a gun competition and a rave. If anybody knows the AK community or spends any time in there, it's definitely a little more, we'll say artistic, but
autistic.
That too. So it's gonna be it's a huge event and has been every year. There's a huge prize table. It's like a 2-gun competition. Everybody's rocking AKs or AK variants. A lot of people wear full costume. So big, huge LARP party. Also in Texas. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to check out Kalash Bash Texas. Most of their stuff's on Instagram. Get in contact with Kalash Bash Texas or Clayco47. They're gonna be that's gonna be your contact points for Kalash Bash. But check it out. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, and we have reached out to them. We've got a lead on who we need to reach out to next to get them on. No guarantees if it comes on, just being transparent. Not everybody wants to come on a podcast. They may want to come on. We're not sure yet, but just know we have reached out to them, and hopefully we get a response.
Yeah. That about wraps it up, though, for current or up and coming 2A news, 2A events, and looking forward to seeing both of those.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, before we get into Adam's 5-minute review, boys, you know what time it is.
T-shirt time? It is 12 time. It's T-shirt time!
Hell yeah, I love T-shirt time.
Hell yeah. So today I want to go ahead and I'll start it out. I'm going to go ahead and start at the top. Rocking a Tack Hunt Fish trucker hat. Definitely love that. And I am repping the Fog Guys, the Forward Observation. I'm rocking the Night Stalker shirt. Definitely show love to them. Forward Observation are some cool people. They do some cool stuff. Definitely cool guy stuff. But yeah, that's it for me. Matt, what's in it for you, bro?
Top down. I'm wearing one of my favorite hats of all time. I wear it a lot on the show, and I'll shout it out every time. My White Feather Tactical. It's like M81 trucker cap, bright orange. Logo. I freaking dig it. And then for my T-shirt, dude's been down since day one. I'm wearing my OCA Sugar Skull. This is one of the coolest logos I got. I'm gonna take my headphones off. One of the coolest logos I've got on a tee. I love this shirt. The fit is great. It's not hot. It's super comfortable, and the logo is just like it's fire. People ask me about it all the time. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
OCA.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that, brother. Adam, what are you rocking, my friend?
Man, well, we'll start from the top. I found the gayest hat I could find, first of all, and that was
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, gayest hat I could find.
What is that, fuck Ben? What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we got our boy Jeff at Gun Daddy. You know, he's hooked us all up. He's supporting us. I got his seed spreader. Bam! I'll do the side back.
Dude, that's fitting for you.
I love that
A seed spreader.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fitting for you. Hey, but I do think if everything's correct, if you want some Gun Daddy and you want a discount on that, do we got a code?
Yeah, we do. So it's whiskey and the N W. So it's W and W10. Yeah.
So it's just capital W and W10?
Yes, the and sign. That little weird fucking thing you do. Yeah.
Yes.
That thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so people go get W and the and sign, weird little fucking thing, and then another W.
We can probably put it in here somewhere magically and maybe in editing. I don't know.
We'll link it in the description for you.
Yeah, it'll be in the description below.
Love that. Love that. Well, dude, that about cuts it out for T-shirt time. If you guys have a shirt, you guys have a hat, you guys have something you want us to rep for your business, send it our way, reach out, check it out. We'll be glad to do it and raise awareness, but talk to us first. We want to make sure that everything aligns with us. We're not out there just trying to, be apparel whores. We want to rock people that align with us. But dude, that's about it, man. And now I can't wait because this might be hands down the most, I don't want to say it's the best review, but it's damn sure the most entertaining. So without further ado, brother, let's hit it.
It's the 5-minute review.
So what happened was there was a situation. The situation. I go hard in the paint when it comes to filming.
Houston?
Yeah, we had a problem.
We have a problem.
Yes, and I go hard. Your boy goes hard in the paint when filming content, and the video I was working on, I got a little too close, a little too hard, because I get too hard sometimes. And guess what?
So for the people who don't know, what is that device exactly there, Adam?
It's an iPhone.
Well, yeah, but there's 10,000 different iPhones. What is that one?
That's the 15 Max Pro, the Gucci. Guess what? It's not. It's titanium. Guess what? Titanium's not bulletproof, guys. FYI. 9 mil one. So that is the 5-minute review. Unfortunately, guys, we will have a mystery review up this week. It's a secret because it's a secret to us, but it will be up this week. And that is my 5-minute review. So.
Hell yeah, dude. That's
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
all right, everyone. For our 2A spotlight, we had to pull a few strings, had to pay a few people, meet in a couple dark alleys, but we are definitely, the podcast is definitely graced with the presence of Mr. Willie Robertson from Duck Dynasty. Willie, how's it going, dude?
What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
No, man, no. It is the one and only Chris Blau, 1911 Syndicate. Yeah, dude. How's it been going?
Good, man. It's been this last week was SHOT Show, which we'll get into later, I'm sure.
Yes.
And it's been like I went last Sunday, and then I was there till Friday night, and dude, you don't leave the inside of the building, so I went 4 days without seeing the sun, man. It's just it's wild. It's a time warp, tons of fun people. We were talking earlier, but your guys previous guest Brent Tucker, he's a good buddy of mine, so we met up there, and just great time. So it's been I'm a little tired, but I rallied for you guys.
Man,
so,
dude, I appreciate that.
Thank you. We really appreciate you coming on. I know you said you watched a couple episodes, and you already know we kind of have the same mindset that you and Jake do over at 1911 Syndicate. We are for the people, by the people. We are 2A all the way. We're not just one side of this, one side of that. We'll have anyone come on the show and talk to us, but we truly are the 2A podcast, no holds bar.
Yep. Yeah, and that's I'm like a 2A absolutist, is what I say. you want to own nukes, and you got the cash for it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I was about to ask.
Oh, yeah, you want an F-16, you want a nuke, you want a artillery.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm all about it, man. And
Money talks and bullshit walks.
Dude.
Well,
So now we just got to work on making all that affordable for us regular people.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
When's PSA coming with nukes?
Right?
so when you went down there, did you? Well, first question, because I'm a Vegas dude. Every time I go, I go to Vegas. I try to go at least once a year, and it's not even shot. Dude, did you stay on the Strip or did you stay off the Strip? What'd y'all do this time?
Yeah, I stayed in. So Jake stayed in the Palazzo because he's a bougie little bitch, and I stayed in Treasure Island. So
I usually stay in Aria. So
okay.
Yeah, Mike's our bougie bitch. Just so you're tracking, Mike is our psychopath boozy bitch all day.
Yeah.
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 What was the? I guess okay. So you stay in Treasure Island, I like that. What was the? And I saw your storyline. I saw you, on Instagram talking about all the different stuff. But what was just so for everyone who didn't see it, because it only lasts for a couple days or an hour or whatever. What was your favorite product you saw there? Like what you were most excited for?
Yeah. So, everyone's gonna go with like the easy stuff, like the Tommy built MP7 that everyone saw, the PSA, right? This year seems to be the year of MP7s. So, except for, of course, the god of MP7s, HK, right? But everyone else seems to be doing it, so we'll take what we can get. That's cool. I don't know if you all ever shot MP7s. People argue about if they're effective. Look, I play dress up on YouTube, bro. 90% of what I do is trying to look cool, and MP7s look cool.
They freaking look sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's all I do too. Is just looking cool for the gram.
That's the only reason I have a beard and tattoos is just so it looks better. Like that's it. So, not tough.
Oh man.
Watchtower Firearms is coming out with their 2011 called the Apache.
Yes.
I tried to link with those dudes last year at SHOT Show because they were working on that project. Just didn't happen. Fast forward, this year is the year for it. Little insider info for you guys. I had like a 4-hour conversation with the owner one night at the Circle Bar, which is where, when the show's over, everyone meets up at this one specific bar to just hang out all night. And dude, I'm gonna work on getting one of those to review it. So that'll be cool. They make everything for the most part in house, and it's just another 2011 at a really good price point that's coming to market. So
cool.
It kind of hits the higher end staccatos, It would be right around that price point, but not a staccato, like not a production standard plastic frame 2011, right? So looking forward to that. Let's see here. Hollow Sun,
oh no,
right, wrong, or indifferent. People can bitch about it.
They suck.
China this, China that, whatever, dude.
It's not even China. I'm still got a deposit down at the distributor for last year's thermal overlay site that they were dropping. So they dropped a fucking another one, and I'm like, in their comments, I was like, cool, bro. When am I going to get the one you promised me last year, third quarter? Dude, crickets. Fucking
2026,
crickets.
fifth quarter.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Fifth quarter.
Yeah. It's cool looking, but it's like, I don't know, man. That shit belongs at like the little, the Marvel thing, the little Tony Stark or his dad's little, hey, I could make the car fly. And all of a sudden, like, yeah, we can make the thermal overlay. And like, yeah, it'll be ready in 10 years. Like, who cares?
Right. So that, hopefully they get that figured out. But for the most part, SHOT Show, like this is number like 9 or 10 for me. It's much of the same. There's some cool advances here and there. And then now people don't wait till SHOT Show. If you notice, companies trickle stuff out over like, 12-month period kind of. So like SHOT Show is really to meet up with the boys now. Like see all the guys. Everyone from all over the world is in town. So like just everyone's there. So it was just awesome to see everyone. So
Cool.
Yeah, that's badass. I definitely have some FOMO not being there this year. Everyone kept messaging me, "Are you there, bro?" No.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, bro. I was watching everything on Instagram. I think you and Staccato Pam were everywhere on Instagram the last couple of days. Like you two, like there was a picture with someone. It was with you two. You guys. I think honestly, everyone was taking pictures with you though. That was the thing. It wasn't like you were with them. I think people were getting pictures with you, and that's why you were everywhere.
which is still like, we're so, like, I don't know, just grateful that anyone watches the show or supports anything we do. So everyone coming up saying hi was awesome. We got a lot of people saying the HK stuff we dropped this year with HK was pretty cool. And
it was cool.
Dude, thank you. It's just super humbling. Like, it's wild. So it's just a good time, man. Like,
yeah, you're one of few that actually gets to work with HK like professionally. So that's definitely a feather in the cap. No matter if you backed into that, how you did it, like you did it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's all, I think, so when we started the channel, it was really to, for a couple reasons, but, you know, review products that we buy for the most part, or we work with the company on, like, hey, cut us a deal, we're going to be honest about it in the video. And the idea was we'll build it that way, and then hopefully bigger companies will come down the road, right? Like, if you build it, they will come.
Right.
And this is our second year working with HK, and a big portion of it is, I mean, 99% of it's Jake. He's like such a type A, like go-getter, structured, scheduled individual. When we first worked with HK, we had
I know a lot about that.
Oh, dude. We had like 6 phone calls leading up to the project. They were sent an hour-by-hour itinerary and breakdown of the filming schedule from day 1 to completion, like, and we hit everything. So I think they were just like, these guys don't fuck around. They follow through. It's obviously structured. We don't waste time. And so, yeah, they gave us a shot, and thankfully Jake delivered, because if it was up to me, you know, not much is getting done, dude. Like,
yeah, but you know, honestly,
man.
But honestly, by doing that, you guys set the bar and you set it kind of high. But it's like, man, if you tell people this is what to expect, and they say, all right, well, we'll give these 2 jackasses a shot, and if they fail, whatever, what do we lose? But if they hit it, then, man, this might be, you know, worth investigating and worth investing in. And it, dude, it has. That's killer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, just fortunate, but also, like, much all of you know, dude, it's just hard work. Like, I used to train dogs for a living. Jake used to sell vitamins for a living, and like HK wants to work with us. So, like, dude, it's just simply hard work. That's it. Like, hard work, do the right thing. And just, if you don't over-promise and under-deliver, set realistic expectations and own it if we don't meet those, right? Like,
for sure.
I don't know. So, fortunate, man. And so there's talks this year of another project that might involve some travel, which would be cool.
Good.
And then,
Hope
like,
it's to Germany. Hope you go to Germany, man.
Hopefully. We'll see, dude.
That'd be pretty cool.
So,
you gonna do some knocking down there? You gonna do some door knocking down there while you're there?
Dude,
start bringing people.
Right, go find ancestors. 100%.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So with the channel, I know Matt, you had some questions about the channel and 1911 in general. You want to go ahead and that's like a pretty good spot to start.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we know, or I guess I should say, if I understand correctly, 1911 Syndicate is a real estate company first, and then a gun review channel.
Yeah, you got it. So nailed it on the head, which some people don't get, and to be honest, we don't really get, but it works for whatever reason. But
perfect.
Jake, yeah, it's I mean, we're just fortunate that it starts to work. But Jake moved to Salt Lake City from LA actually a couple years ago.
Okay. And
started another business doing real estate, and he's like, how can I market to people that I only want to work with? And I like guns, so let's try it. And like two couple months into it, we had been friends for a while before that. He's like, hey, get your license in Phoenix, be my Phoenix rep, and do this YouTube thing with me. And so I got licensed here in Phoenix, and yeah, the gun and gear reviews are to find like-minded individuals that are into that kind of stuff that want help with real estate. So like, dude, I wear combat pants and a t-shirt to sign houses on paperwork. I drive a dirty truck. Like, we shoot guns. I'll take clients shooting. Like, it's the most low-stress way to do real estate, and it's the only way I do it because real estate sucks, dude. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I've heard you say that before. And it's so interesting to me because I'm on the other side of it. During the day, I'm a general contractor.
Yeah.
So I'm building, and so I've got a set list of, you know, people that when it's ready to go to market, I've got a couple people that I can say, hey, list this dude. But it's interesting. I think I haven't had a bad experience, but everybody says that real estate is a lot like, used car salesman.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your wants and needs are. It's what can I put you in today so I can cash a check.
Yeah.
And like, much like our philosophy on the channel, same thing with the housing stuff. Like, dude, I'm not going to sell you a product just so I can make some money. I don't know how people sleep at night doing that. Like, I've been in many houses where they're like, what do you think? And I'm like, I wouldn't fucking live here, dude. Like, I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say stuff like that. Anyways, I will give good advice of general ideas that are within the legal limits of how I feel about a house.
Well, if you haven't thought about it, here's you another angle in, and it'll get more recognition for 1911 if you can put Jake on it, because I hear he's kind of like he's a go-getter.
Yep.
You guys need to introduce, and I say this as a term of endearment, you need to introduce y'all's shit show to like house hunters. Could you imagine the TV if it's like, I'm gonna meet my real estate agent and you're blowing shit up on a range and you're like, yeah, let's go look at this fucking thing. Bro.
Dude, there's 100% a show there. Like 100%.
It may only last one, but that one would get so many good reviews. People be like, I want that dude to sell me a house.
Oh, that's the guys that had the TV show.
Yeah.
It'll work. HGTV, all those stay-at-home moms, all the suburban moms would love to watch you, I'm pretty sure. They would love it.
Hell yeah.
I had a couple more follow-up questions, but you kind of answered most of them. But like, I've talked pretty openly with these guys about being interested in getting licensed for real estate, like just as a side hustle. And from what I've learned about you, like you work a full-time job, you do 1911 Syndicate, the reviews channel, and then you've also done a few deals as a real estate agent. And it sounds like the 2A and like military real estate focus has helped kind of lower the pressure of like Mike said, what can I slam you in today? And so like, is it something that if someone could do as a side hustle or a low pressure thing, not I gotta make a sale to feed my family and pay my bills, like is it something that you think is viable for other folks?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And we actually have affiliates, Syndicate affiliates located all around the country that have their license, that are into the type of stuff that we do, that may be real estate agents or do it part-time or a side hustle, but they're a trusted, I mean, we interview them, kind of a vetted dude. Yeah. We do some research on them to make sure they fit, and those dudes will throw leads to you. So if someone in Arizona is moving to, Fort Hood or something, and I'm like, oh, dude, my boy Matt's over there. Wait let me give you a call back. Hey, he's going to call you, link you guys. I make a couple of bucks from the referral. That dude closes the deal. We have trusted people on both ends for the client, so they feel taken care of. So it absolutely is something that's viable for people. On top of that, as much as I hated real estate school, dude, like I did all right in college. Not the best, but did all right. Real estate school is so difficult because it's legal jargon that you just no one talks that way, right? Mm-hmm. But I'll never discourage from someone from getting more education, getting another cert under their belt. Like, it can only help you. Right?
Yeah. Keep building skills.
Yeah. So I guess a question I want to ask is, I won't put you on the spot, so you have to say people's names. I won't get you in trouble, but I guess Adam is in San Antonio. Matt is in Nampa, Idaho, wherever the hell that is. There's just potatoes there. And I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Like, do you have people in these areas? I mean, I'm not certified, so I'm not trying to get a job. I'm just interested. Like, are there people, to your knowledge, or are you still looking? Or?
Yep, got people. I don't have anyone in Nampa, but 100% in San Antonio. And where else? Sorry.
Nashville, Tennessee?
Oh, yeah, definitely Nashville. I actually, there's a guy in the industry that does some suppressor stuff that's moving from Austin to Nashville. Mm-hmm. And so I linked him with our Nashville affiliate. dude, he's moving in a couple, 3-4 weeks. So like, we got people all over, man.
Cool.
And there's room for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
someone listen to this, they have their license. If we interview you and we fit, or you want to get your license, get it. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to make $1 million, but like, it's also a business where you can make as much money as you're willing to work, right?
Right.
So,
But with the housing market right now, some blue collar guy, myself, yourself, like I do pretty good just work, but close 1, 2, 3 deals a year. That's a nice commission. That's a nice commission. So.
yeah, I mean, say even one a year, and you get, after all your fees and everything, just $10K.
Yeah.
Or let's be realistic, like
It's
maybe
10K.
4 days total of work to get the whole thing done if you add it up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a gun fund for me. Hey,
Yeah.
you had a staccato you were looking at, go buy 2, bro. You sold a house. Or I'm a big watch guy, right? Hey, you're a watch guy. I'm trying to be responsible with finances. Anything I do on this side of the business is for toys. Dude, I mean, it's whatever you want,
That's
bro. We're able to
great
do
point.
with technology a lot nowadays. I still haven't figured out how to make money, but I'm trying to figure it out. But there's a
Me
lot
too.
of ways
Me-
to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
It
too.
flows around me more often now. Still don't
Yeah.
have any of it, but
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
I
long
have
story
to,
short, we got people all over, and we could always
Awesome.
use more people. Yeah, you want to get your license, dude? Get it.
I'm going to.
yeah, so I found it interesting because, of course, while we were vetting you and I was doing some research and all that, I did listen to the podcast you were just on, Iron Sights, and so it was like, all right, cool. Like listening to how you and Jake met, and how that friendship just kind of, how trusting he was, and I say that in the dearest regard because like you met him once. I remember you saying you met him once at the training, and then the next time you spoke to him, basically like you're going to stay at his house. And
Yeah.
so I really feel that with these dudes because we met through social media
On Tinder.
And-
On Tinder.
yeah, no, Grinder.
Grindr.
But we had yeah.
I
And
sub
yeah,
to their OnlyFans, but
hell yeah, he loves my feet pics. But no, we it was like, damn, it's so hard. You would think it's easy, but it's so hard to find like-minded individuals. And then when you do, someone you completely click with and gel with, it's just like, damn, you'd think it'd be easier than this, but it's like, damn, like I said, we're all across the country, and it was just like, man, when I guess what I'm trying to get at is after you guys developed your friendship and, you talk about 1911 Syndicate and all that stuff, like when you started that YouTube channel, what was the goal?
Yeah, so, and I'll back up a little bit. So I met Jake, and then we had a phone text relationship for a while before I stayed at his house without him being there, just to clarify.
What are you doing, step bro?
Yeah, we know how that goes.
Yeah, that's Jake's house. Weird. It's only
Threw you
him,
off on
though,
that
so
one.
it's strange.
We have sound effects.
So sorry, back to the question. I totally got thrown off by that.
No, yeah, like
Welcome
what was
to Whiskey and Windage.
Yes, now the shit show has started. No, like what was the goal when you guys sat down and said, okay, 1911 Syndicate channel, the reviews channel, like what was the goal? Was it to get free stuff? Was it to become, a review giant, try to take over Hickok 45 and these other guys at the time? Or was it like, hey, we just want to like fund our projects and have some cool shit?
Yeah, it was 100% marketing for the real estate. Like 100%. Just, if dudes watch the channel, dudes need houses, you got active duty guys changing duty stations. Hey, these are trusted individuals with affiliates all over the country. Dude, our first deal ever was with a special operations guy. So you get into his community. He's like, hey, these guys know us. They trust us. We trust them. So it was really just a market for real estate. As it started gaining some legs, it was never for free stuff. Jake and I, from day one, have paid for like 95% of stuff, so we can say whatever the hell we want about it, right?
Yeah.
Respect.
And that was calculated too, because I've been doing this a long time, and I've been following influencers back in the day before that was a term. They would endorse a product because they had a special operations background or law enforcement or whatever, combat veteran. and then the product sucked because they were getting a paycheck. And so from day one, we try to always be honest. You know, if product is donated, it is an agreement between the manufacturer, us, and the audience that we will still be our best to be honest about it. We're not trying to bankrupt a company or like, you know, cause waves. If anything, they're getting R&D and T&E stuff like in real time. Some companies view it that way, some don't. But really, it was just to market for real estate, man. And it's kind of grown to its own little beast, and now it has side projects. And, you know, Jake always says, like, the Syndicate's the home, but me and him branch out and do other stuff and then come back. And so, it's this weird little thing that we kind of built just from work, like hard work. You guys know what it takes, man. It's just hard work.
We're getting there. We are on the first base of what you guys are doing. We're getting there. But I have a question. So you and Jake met on a training event. So I know you like to train. I know tactical training. So one thing about me is I'm a big competition shooter. I do IDPA, USPSA, or is it USPSA? Yeah. So do you do those at all? Like, what's your thought on those?
Yeah. So when I first got into this, like, I don't know, 11, 12, 13 years ago, I started reading, like, all the Navy SEAL books, everything. I've read it all. I've listened to every podcast. Like, I'm a giant nerd for all that stuff. So I thought, like, tactical training is the only thing. Like, and I just didn't know better. And then also, it wasn't like nowadays where the competition and tactical stuff has started to come together. It was very much like two separate things. Like, you do one or the other. Yeah. But then I started training with some more high-level guys, and they're like, hey, when we were active, we trained competitions. And I'd be like, what? Well, how does that translate? And they're like, look, shooting is shooting, fundamentals are fundamentals, and then we apply tactics to those. And that's when it made sense for me. And that was probably 6-7 years ago. But I just prefer, if I'm going to go shoot and train, the more tactical style.
Yeah. Well, if you're spending your money.
Say again?
I said, well, if you're spending your money, it's like, I'd rather get this.
Yeah.
Well, and also there's a negative drawback too. There's a negative drawback because I'm sure you've experienced it. Like, you go to some competitions, and if you're not in the cool guy group, or I imagine for you, and I think you mentioned this on another podcast, they knew who you are, so they expect either you to be up here or they just expect you to fail miserably. And they're probably actually cheering for you to fail miserably because you're not in their group.
And there is a little bit of that. And that's also just human nature, and it's cool. And dude, I'm comfortable. I know who I am. Like, if they want to get a team of like 8 dudes and go like run a course of fire with multiple people engaging at multiple distances and like movement barricades, stuff like that, you need to know where your team is, where you are in relation to that, who's shooting, who's communicating, who's reloading. I'd probably fucking destroy them with that.
I would love to see that. Yeah.
Because that's what I do with all the buddies. Like, you know, all my veteran buddies, when we shoot, we do stuff like that. Now, having said that, you guys know Mike Pannone?
Heard the name, yes.
Yeah.
So he's a former unit guy that has been out for a while, but got really heavy into competition shooting. And he kind of merges both. We did a private class for our Patreon guys and had him instruct.
Oh, nice.
And so he kind of merges a little bit of both. It is more comp style shooting, but there's a lot of shooting and like reading the scenario, barricades, vision barriers, things of that sort. So I'd say his classes are the best for me and what I like to do, the best of both worlds. So
no, that makes sense. IDPA is kind of like that. That's why I prefer IDPA, because there is more barrier situation, rifle to pistol transition. USPSA, they're a little snobbier, I'll be honest. So I know you and I have a mutual friend, Don Welch. We shoot comps together, and we have we have so much fun at the IDPA comps. But then Don will go up to Austin and he'll like tell me how miserable it is if you're not in the cool guy group or you're not in their little clique. So that's the problem. I think I wish comp shooters would stop that, because I think it pushes a lot of people away. Or if you're not rocking a staccato or some Gucci gun, then they kind of like they snub you a little bit.
Yeah, which, you know, getting back to a previous guest too, like Brent Tucker, and you know, he's like, dude, only shoot a Glock, and the comp guys will be like, you can't do competition to a high level with a Glock. Dude, some of those unit guys, even active, will go shoot comps just because they're shooters, man. Like, they want to hone the craft.
Yeah.
And they will destroy people with a stock Glock and, like, a red dot.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it is possible. You're just not willing to dedicate the time, effort, energy, and budget may be a big part of that.
Yeah.
When government's giving you free ammo, like...
Well, I
He's
also
pretty
think-
good on a Glock. Yeah.
Yeah, and and I understand shooting is shooting, but also in that, if all four of us have a Glock 19 sitting in front of us, and a Staccato P, or heck, even the XL, whatever, and we have it in front of us, and we load a full mag in both, odds are all of us are going to be we're going to be better with the Staccato. So if you can train and shoot as well as a Staccato with a Glock, you're deadly, dude. Like,
Savage.
it's
Yeah.
because, and I hate to say it, you pay for what you get for damn sure, but a Staccato is, man, it's just like a Masterpiece Arms in some eyes. Like, dude, it's an easy button. Like,
Yeah.
it levels you up. You know, if we're talking video games, you're leveled 10 levels up just by getting that.
Yeah.
Because of the features and the stability you're gaining.
See,
Sure.
I don't agree. I
don't
would
agree?
say I completely disagree. I have RSO'd events where guys come up that have no fundamentals of training, but they have money and they have the Gucciest gear and they have a Staccato and they cannot hit a steel plate 15 yards in front of them. But I got guys.
But I'm
with
saying
Glocks.
like a guy like you, if you
Somebody
just
who's
pick up
pretty
two-
familiar with a handgun.
Yeah.
Us four,
And has great
not some dude
fundamentals
that
already.
just spends the money. If you have one of
Okay.
each,
Yep.
that's what I mean. I don't mean
Okay.
like you level up, like you personally,
Okay.
Adam, you level up 10 if you're shooting a Staccato over something else
Right.
Okay. Okay.
because of the
Yeah, but-
benefit.
The saying is always like, it's the Indian, not the arrow.
Yeah.
Yes, but they would choose specific woods and things of sorts to make bows and arrows, different tips, all that kind of stuff. So it can be both. But yeah, you take like shooters that have like a pretty high level of proficiency. Like, I shot Glock for 10 years before I went to Staccato. There was a learning curve there for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But then
Yeah.
once
Different
it
grip.
started, like, it just started picking up drastically.
Yeah,
I
you get
think
used
that's
to the
kind of
bore
what we're all
axis and the
saying.
sights, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're just slapping.
Yeah. Yep. But like if you have like a brand new shooter, Glock, Staccato, the weight and mass of a Staccato might help them with follow-up shots a little. I mean, that could be argued.
Maybe,
for-
but-
yeah. Again, no, it's like,
Yeah.
it's not a direct apples to apples thing. But in general, if you're a shooter, like Staccato you're going to notice some benefits. Having said that, much like you guys said, if I'm going to combat on YouTube, it's a Glock, dude. It's a Glock. Like,
I'm going to combat on YouTube.
See, I'm gonna. I mean, for me, Glock. I love Glock, but combat right now, I'm taking my Sig. I'm taking my Sig.
I'm also a dirty cigger.
Dude, I've got Sig
Careful with
and
that one.
Glock.
Jeez.
I've got Sig and Glock, but when it comes to just in combat, the odds of me picking up another Glock mag if I'm short
It's
ammo
pretty good.
or I break a part on my Glock, I'm going to be able to find one laying in the street somewhere. Odds are better than Sig. Honestly, I mean,
that and like another side of it,
226 is
too.
a pretty uncommon magazine.
yeah, dude, they're never, you're fucked.
But
Running
if
out
your
of
whole game
226.
plan is based around if you can find mags on the ground, you've already lost.
Right?
Haven't you
And
ever-
this is where
haven't you
this
ever played video
conversation
games?
like continues to like, yeah, but like da, right? I love this,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The three of us, we just.
Yeah.
But
Dude,
what if?
Yeah,
At the-
honestly, we don't need guests or listeners. We'll just fucking us three can just talk, and we don't give a shit. We're like, yeah, and anyway, fuck the guests and the listeners. Like this
We
shit's
were on
gold.
the phone for 3 hours 2 nights ago talking about a show that's going to be an hour long.
And we only talked about you for probably 20 minutes. The
Yeah,
rest of the time was
that's
like,
true.
we don't know where it went, but it happened. I
Hey,
even
that's
told him I
fucking-
wasn't going to.
That's what's great about like this style of show, or like Jake and I try to have it like you're there on the range with us, hanging out, talking
Yeah.
shit. Like, dude, people want authentic, just natural
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
We can always have an outline, and I think that's part of being a professional and being prepared. That doesn't mean we stick to it, But
Right.
like we have a general idea, we can deviate. But also it's just off the cuff, man. Like people
Exactly.
like that. And
It
like
flows
some
good.
people get that, some people don't.
Mhm.
Like when some people are like, "Oh, you guys made this mistake." I'm like, "Bro, like we're chilling on the range like multi-million-dollar cinematic productions have mistakes. We're
Yeah.
idiots in the desert. We're going to make mistakes." But like
Mhm.
that's the
Yeah.
whole point. Like we're
Couple
just
darts for the
hanging out.
GoPro.
Yeah.
We don't make mistakes.
Or you can shoot
Did you see?
your
Did you
iPhone.
see Adam's mistake? Did you see
Yeah.
Adam's mistake?
What is it?
Bro, I'll tell you what.
Hold on. So while
Did
he's
the
getting it, I'll
footage make
tell
it
you.
to the
So-
cloud at least?
Yeah. So what happened was Adam is an Android, and if you're an Android user too, you're not a fucking human. But
Dude,
anyway,
kick rocks, bro.
yeah. So Adam was an Android
I'm
guy. I
used
was
to
like,
being
Adam, you need
non-human.
an iPhone. So Adam was like, you know what? I'm going to be cool, and I'm going to get the iPhone 15. It's going to be badass.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, hell yeah.
15
So
Pro
yeah,
XL
yeah,
thing, like the
yeah,
best
like, that son of
iPhone
a
that's
bitch
out
has-
right now.
He goes to make a video and he wants to shoot cinematically at his damn phone.
Yeah.
He even told us, he's like, I'm gonna get really close, boys, as close as I can get without shooting it. And
He did.
I was busy,
His
and
camera
later that
just,
night,
like-
I was like, oh.
Boys,
I asked him though. I said, "Did that video download?" He said, "Hell no." I was like, "Damn."
I
Turned
missed
it
it. I got
off.
everything. I got about 7 of the videos I did from the cloud, but that last one did not, and it would have been worth it. The $100 deductible I paid for a new phone, that video would have been worth it.
$100, $100
Super
for
funny.
350 likes. That's the shit we do.
Hey man,
So-
that phone's seen more combat than any of us. So rest in peace. Dude. Rest in peace.
Dude, that's true. That is fucking true.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you mostly train. I mean, you mentioned you prefer like tactical style training, but you have knowledge, obviously, in like both types of disciplines, competition and tactical training. So, is there aspects or pieces of competition that you find are valuable in real world application, and where do you think it could improve to give people better skills?
Yeah, so this is, my opinion, right? I've done some comp stuff, but like like if you took a comp shooter and then applied tactics from like someone like Brent, like
Okay.
that guy is probably going to catch on much quicker and do much better because he's shooting, dude. Like all those guys
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
like ready up drills, target focus, good press to the rear, like all of those fundamentals, and even like grip. A lot of comp shooters have pushed the envelope for a lot of stuff that then makes it to the high level military shooters,
Yeah.
like grip,
100%.
red dot optics, a bunch of that stuff. So like I think there is giant pros to comp shooting. I think to say one is better than the other, like comp shooting probably for if you're starting out is probably better. Your first type of stress inoculation is a timer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can then have measurable stats to improve on. Like there's probably some benefits to that all around that build you as a better shooter. And I think even some high level military comp shooters like Matt Pranka and Mike Pannone have said that. So this
Yeah.
isn't my own idea.
Yeah.
Both have benefits, right? I think some comp shooters then all they hear is, well, in a real gunfight, I do real well. I don't know if it translates directly like that, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially like, if you're good at comp shooting, but you can't run like 200 yards without having a heart attack, like,
I'm with you.
So like, we can start splitting hairs there. So I don't even know if that's really an answer, but I think both have value equally, just in different ways. And because we live in a free, for the most part, free minus taxes and some other things, which we could,
That's another
have a
rabbit hole.
rabbit hole on,
Yeah.
do both. Like, why not do both? Like I know
Yeah.
a guy who does every other. He takes a comp shooting class and then a
Yeah.
tactical class, then a comp shooting, then a tactical. And so like, yeah, like if one or the other is the best way for you to enjoy getting better and pushing yourself, I don't think there's anything wrong with then you doing that while
Such
still
a
being
nice
able to
guy,
acknowledge
Chris.
Oh, yeah.
benefits of both, right?
Yeah.
You're such a nice guy.
Yeah,
No, that makes
so-
sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, so I've got a question for you, and I'll let Adam tell you my story about tactical training because it's better when he says it. Okay, so last year I decided, and I've been training, and I do all my stuff, take training classes, all that. But last year I was like, dude, I'm really going to get into some more tactical training. Really want to do this. And I asked a buddy of mine at another gun shop, I was like, hey, you got any cool classes coming up? And he was like, yeah, I got this class. I'll sign up. And I was like, you should sign up. I said, all right, cool. Dude, it was like freaking $600. I was like, all right, fine, fuck it. We'll do it. Let's go. Did it, took it, and I was like, all right, well, cool. I took some pictures while I was there because they said some dude was an influencer on Instagram or something. I was like, I have no clue who this guy is. But anywho, it turns out there was like 3 people there that I should have known that I didn't, and I love the fact that I'm so dumb. What is the coolest? I guess I'll ask you your question, then Adam can tell you who I was talking about. What is one of your favorite trainings or trainers that has stuck out for one reason or another?
Yeah. So ones that are available to like anyone can do open enrollment classes, because some instructors only do private or military law enforcement. Some do both commercial and law enforcement. Buck Doyle, he's a former Force Recon guy. He trains out of Southern Arizona or Southern Utah. So the scenery there, you're shooting against Capitol Reef National Park. It is red rock, beautiful, like Moab style.
Oh, hell
so he
yeah.
got some good brownie points from that. But he's the most like overall, what's the word? Just like common sense training I've done. Like, hey, this is what works and this is what doesn't. It's nothing flashy. It's no whiz bang switching shoulders or like some crazy John Wick shit. It's very basic. It's the fundamentals done well. And we're going to do it with some elevated heart rate because there's some movement in his class. And like, man, I've trained with everyone, all the big names out there, like Travis Haley, Chris Costa, Aaron Cowan, Achilles Heel, like all the big names that are big right now. All are great. This is not saying one's bad or good, but for me, the style that I learn, the personalities I learned from, me and Buck just kind of jived. I really liked Buck's class. So and
I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah, like day one, he shot a gas gun AR to like 1100 first round impact without even trying, right? And I'm like, so what's like the ballistics out to that? And he like looked at me and he's like, never found a motherfucker to volunteer to find out. And I was like, check, my bad.
What's this gentleman's last name again?
Yep.
Doyle. Buck Doyle. Yeah. And he's a follow through consulting.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Wearing a shirt now. I own like 10 of his shirts, so they just stay in
T-shirt time.
Mm-hmm.
But the next day we're shooting pistols like 9mm to like 230 meters. So same thing, first round impact, and he like looked at me. I was like, I got nothing to say, sir. Like I'm not making that mistake twice. You know?
Damn, that's
You got
hilarious.
something smart to say today, boy?
Right?
No,
and so like that, even just that little nugget, because some people will get so into the weeds, like, well, the ballistics at this distance, like, dude, have you ever found someone to volunteer to find out, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
if it bounced off your forehead, you would know it.
Well, and that sucks either way. Like,
yeah.
Some people split hairs so much like that, and it was just a great little lesson. Like, hey, like, doesn't mean this isn't gonna kill him, or it is. This means we now have him dialed in and can maneuver if he needs to.
He's old school as hell. Hadn't found anyone to volunteer. I love that.
He was awesome. I saw him at SHOT Show, gave him a big hug. He's doing great, and we're gonna try to work with him hopefully here in the future. But he's a great instructor. No bullshit. What works, what doesn't, and he also stays kind of out of the drama that can kind of come into the industry and some of the like. Dude, it's all type A dudes just kind of trying to be the most type A. He lets his work speak for itself. He's comfortable with the type of human being he is. And Buck's a great guy to train with. So
cool. Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, Mike had good training, and so Mike tells me at this training event he went to, and said, "Let me send you some pictures."
Jesus.
He sends me a fucking picture. He's like, all I see is in the first picture, I see the back of Corleone's head, and I see Clint Morgan in it. I'm like, okay, interesting. Then he sends me another picture of this old guy. He's like, yeah, this old guy was training him. It was Kyle Lamb was the actual trainer. And Mike had, so he's taking a class with Clint Morgan and Corleone. Our students,
and Kyle.
Mike and Kyle.
And the class is by
Kyle.
Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, this old dude's freaking teaching us stuff, and we're shooting over cars and shit. And I'm like, damn, is this old guy gonna make it? And then they're like, dude, this old guy would fuck the whole room up. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
He looks old to me.
And
Nope.
and the fact you're taking with Clint Morgan and Coleon as students as well, and you had no clue. That's hilarious.
It's great.
Dude, that's so I know one of Kyle's old teammates. He's a good buddy of mine, and like that's another thing people split hairs on. Some people are like, well, Kyle, you know, he's an older guy, got out of GWAT, you know, like 2010 or whatever. You don't think someone who spent 20 years at the highest level ever can teach you something? Bro.
Still knows a thing or two.
Yeah,
Bro.
man, exactly.
Dude,
So,
he
like,
could be
all that training is good training, in my opinion.
Yeah.
his body could be done. Like, he could be like, all right, I can no longer run, move, any of that, but I can sit here in a chair and just tell you the things that you're doing wrong, and he would make you better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at that level, it's they shoot more rounds than all of us will ever shoot combined times 100. Like, it just, you know, again, if you don't think you can learn something from someone like that, like, do better, man. Like, come on.
That's crazy.
Like,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then, Mike, you actually ran into Kyle again, and you bought a cig off him, correct?
nice.
Yes. So, well, here's the deal. So
Oh, yeah, I
I won't
forgot.
give up too much info, but Kyle ended up getting a piece of property out. When I say close to me, he's not close, but I mean, he's
Relative.
20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know him. I don't see him. He's not coming to my birthday. He wouldn't know me from a hole in the wall, like whatever. But another local gun shop he's became friends with, he takes all of his old stuff that he doesn't want, and he goes up there and puts it on consignment. And I walked in there one day as he was putting stuff on consignment, and there was a cig there, and I was like, yeah, I like that. And they were like, well, here's the price. And everything's cheap. Like, he's selling shit cheap. I was like, well, hell, I'll take that cig. And I was like, all right, cool. And they were like, well, that's his. And I was like, well, cool, I got this one, whatever. I don't even know if he really shot it. You know, it might have been a free one that just set in a box. But I was like, well, that's cool.
Yeah. And that's sweet of him too to, like, he's gonna make a couple bucks, right? Like, again, capitalism here, but he's
should.
giving back, getting some guns that, you know, maybe don't get a lot of trigger time. Like, that's a win-win-win for everyone, dude. That's awesome.
I think so. I want to pick your brain now. I want to move to a section and pick your brain so us three guys can start taking notes. Everybody get your pens and papers out. We got to get ready on this. So, you know, good. Glad you got it. One guy. So we know, like, we're a smaller podcast. We know that we're not going to quit doing what we're doing. But people don't understand the dedication it takes just to be our small channel. And I mean, you were once there. You know, people think it's just easy and, oh, you guys are putting on an hour or an hour and 15-minute podcast every week, like, big freaking deal. Or, oh, you're doing one 15-minute review, like,
On YouTube, yeah.
come on, dude. Like, can't you just do that? Like, I mean, have you ever actually dissected and, like, went in and talked to people, like, you know, like, what are your thoughts on it, like, to people that just don't get that? Do you ever get that in?
Yeah, that's this is part of, like, a bigger conversation when people say, like, oh, must be nice. Like, hey, must be nice. Whiskey and Windage had Brent Tucker on. Look, I love Brent, dude. I think that guy's a national treasure. I'm fortunate to call him a friend. We talk often. Like, I love that dude. Like, must be nice. You, Whiskey and Windage, got this former, you know, unit dude on here. Like, do you know what it took for them to do that, dude? It took hours and hours of preparation. Not only for his episode, but for the ones previous to that.
That led up to it, yeah.
The money you guys invest in this, and then time. Dude, I hate to be that, like, cliche guy. Time is the most important thing we have. It is, like, invaluable. You can't put a cost on it. The amount of time you guys take to do your show, that you're away from family, friends, loved ones. Dude, I've missed birthdays. I'm sure you, I mean,
Yes.
and it doesn't matter the size, man. It takes the same amount of dedication if you're going to do it, dude.
Yeah, like, there are many nights you're in the doghouse just because you're doing this.
Not me.
And all you're fucking doing is hoping that the next episode you don't have to pay for some of the costs. Like, bro, if I can just get $40 reimbursement, dude, it's a win, and we're going out
buy
to
a
eat.
new web camera.
You're going to Sizzler that night, dude.
Yeah.
Going
Oh,
high
yes.
rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
It also
first,
doesn't help, Mike, that every time you and I walk out, we're also drunk. Like,
Dude,
been
well,
locked in a
something
room
else,
for 3
like,
hours.
I'm like, and I won't toot my horn, but I'll just give you a little background on me. I am the quick startup guy. I'm the impatient guy.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with these guys or their drive. But like, if us four decided, hey, you know, we're going to start a rock band, like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Like, there's going to be a group text tomorrow, and I'm going to be like, all right, guys, I just bought a drum set.
Yep.
Like, I'm not wasting time. We're going to go do it. And y'all are like, do you know how to play? Nope. We're going to figure this shit out.
Mike's the psychopath, though. Understand?
He'd be like the camera, like,
Mike's the freaking psychopath.
Look at me setting up the drum set, boys. We'd be like, wait.
Yeah.
We said
Dude,
maybe, Mike.
We were drunk, and dude, we're like, dude, too late now. Y'all got to get a guitar or fucking harmonica or something. We're going.
Hey, I like the dedication. I mean, but that level of enthusiasm and passion and just like, fuck it, send it, let's go and figure it out. Like, dude, that's what it takes.
That is what it takes.
Like, dude, you know, the must be nice or like what it takes is like for one video, I'm going multiple days, multiple hours to the range, shooting hundreds, if not sometimes, you know, 9,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300 rounds. That's my cost. Say that's a 2-hour trip, 3-hour trip. Combine that total. That's a whole day that I just spent shooting the gun that I've been gone from my wife. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We film in Utah, so I fly up for 4 to 5 days out of every month consistently for the last 4 years to film. So that's cost of flights, time away, again, from my wife, food, just all that stuff, right? And thankfully, I get a crash at Jake's house. I'm like his heterosexual life partner. You know, I come up once a month to check on him.
Wellness check.
Like, you know, we wrapped filming the HK project, for instance, at 1 a.m. It was day 4 at 1 a.m. I jumped in my truck and drove 9 hours home. So I was up for 2.5 days straight. Because that gave me another day and a half home to then prep and spend time with the wife so I could leave 4 days later for another week-long trip, right? Like, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong here. Dude, I shoot at 4 years old. If any of us was like, what do you want to do for a living? I want to shoot guns and blow shit up for a living. I get to do that. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
that's awesome.
but no one handed that to me, man. Like, I busted my dick off for this and continue to every single day. And anyone can do it. Anyone can do whiskey and windage. Anyone can do YouTube. It's just if you're willing to put the work in, you know?
Yeah. So
I can't believe I thought it would be hard for you to. You said be away from the wife, but you never mentioned the hot tub. I hear that.
That's what I heard.
If I hear that somewhere in between wife, Dog and Jake are like tied for third.
Yep.
But I heard that hot tub is second.
Dude, I've been ranting and raving about this hot tub since we got it so much. I'm trying not to talk about it so much because I'm sure people are annoyed. Like,
It's everywhere.
Have you named it? Have you named it? Does it have a badass name yet?
So women name inanimate objects like that. I typically don't. So I'll have my wife name it.
Good.
But yeah, that is, you're not wrong. Like, it's wife. First thing I did from SHOT Show, dude. My wife was at a dinner, so I literally hauled ass home, jumped straight in the hot tub. Didn't unload the truck, nothing, dude. Like, I love that thing. It's just, my wife goes to bed early, so I jump in there and it's the one time every day that no one bothers me. It's just
your decompression.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
But yeah, that is up there. I've just been trying to not to talk about it.
I love that, dude. That's got to be a big hot tub, and I'm not picking on you for being so huge. Like, no, but like, just seriously. I mean, damn, if you're over, how tall are you? 6'4"?
6'4".
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, they sell large hot tubs, and I'm not saying you had to have it custom made or nothing, but like, not every hot tub's going to fit you right.
Yeah, we
gotta
went
find the right
shopping. I
one.
had to get in a bunch, and we found one that fit me. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, and they're at the same store. It's not like you got to go to the special like tall guy hot tub place, but like, I mean, if you and Adam,
big and tall.
Yeah, I mean, Adam would look like an infant in your hot tub.
He could swim laps in it.
That's Adam's lap pool.
I'll just pick him up and place him in there.
Oh, no,
Dude.
don't. Oh, that's awesome.
Right?
You got me excited now.
Damn,
Dude,
there's an OnlyFans.
I don't. I'll tell you what it is. It's probably some childhood trauma because I haven't fit in a bathtub since I was like 8.
Dude, like, people don't get that.
And like,
I'm also 6'4" and like 230 pounds, and
bro, you're like 170. You're the size of my leg, so you don't count. Like,
no, I'm not, I promise you.
you're
I tell
tall,
people
but
all the
not a lot
time,
of
I'm like,
mass.
I haven't taken a bath in 20 years. If I get in a bathtub, I get to choose nipples or knees. I don't get to cover both.
That's
I
it,
don't.
dude.
Nipples or knees, one or the other.
See, my man knows. So that's
See,
I blew
that
out
shit
my
I
back
don't know.
last year, like a pretty bad back injury, and like, dude, couldn't get in the hot, and we didn't have the hot tub, so couldn't get in the water, couldn't like relax, like, oh. So now that I can get in there, back's feeling sore, like relax a little bit. I don't know. It's just been awesome. So
Good for
first
you,
world
brother.
problems.
Yeah, they really are. Mike knows about those. Mike has lots of those.
dude. Yeah. Do you ever? Yeah. Speaking of that, like, we'll get to that. But when you come to Nashville, do you ever come to Nashville? Have you ever been?
Yeah, I've been twice to Nashville. So
Okay. Next time you come out, we're gonna have to meet up and grab a drink or something for damn sure.
oh, let's do it. Yeah, I stayed on Fort Campbell for a little bit.
Sorry.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, the wife and I were traveling the country in a trailer, and Fort Campbell just lets you park on the backside of Campbell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I was on base. My trailer had all my shit in it, dude. Multiple guns, thousands of rounds, the whole nine. And I was like,
They don't care.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, yeah.
So we drove down to Nashville, you know, a couple times while we were staying there, and then made our way down there again when we were driving. So yeah, good spot. Dude, we'll for sure get a drink.
It's a cool one. It's a cool one.
I want to hit on one thing real quick before we move on about the YouTube. So people don't realize that. So I can tell you, like, we have our Whiskey and Winners Reviews channel where we do gun reviews, full on everything, right? And like, I can tell you, for me to make a 12 to 15 minute video by myself, I know the amount of work it takes and laying, like, range time, how I'm going to lay this out, and it's such a small scale compared to what you guys do. Like, how detailed, like, how much work is put into one video, would you say? How many hours?
Yeah, I bet for one product, it's depending on the product and project. I mean, I've spent probably 25, 30 hours on a project. Like,
Yeah.
because, you know, you write it one way and then halfway through the project, you're like, dude, this isn't fitting. I'm not very creative, so it takes me a little bit more time. But, dude, it's a healthy amount of, I mean, it's the only full-time job I've had that I pay to go to. That's how much time
Exactly.
it takes.
And that's what people don't realize, that like that 1 hour, 30 minute, 40 minute, like the amount of time, the 15-minute video I make, like, or Mike or Matt make, takes hours and hours. And like, we're almost monetized. Yeah, I know you're monetized, but people don't realize that so you are monetized. They don't realize that doesn't mean you're making 100,000 a video, you know. Like,
no.
You know, like,
$12
you
if
get
you're
a
lucky.
exactly.
You get a $12 check.
We're just
We gotta
have to
split it
almost be
3
monetized.
ways.
Exactly. We're almost there, but I mean, you know how it is, right? Like, people think it must be like, once again, you said it. It must be nice. You're monetized on YouTube, making all this money. Like, nah, bro.
Those days, you know, I think we got into it a little bit late. Like, those days are kind of gone for the gun side of YouTube. We monetized like 7-8 months ago, and my first check was like $30, and I'm like, dude, it's straight up, that's lunch, man. Hell yeah.
Sizzler.
Like,
That's
Go
gold.
Sizzler.
That's gold.
dude, sizzler. And so now, you know, it's steadily growing, but it's not like, dude, I still work a full-time job. I just took over helping to manage a local shop here.
Hell yeah.
I needed more time home. I was traveling a bunch. I needed more time home. And so, dude, I still work a 40-hour job doing that. Usually I get home, spend like 2 hours with the wife. She goes to bed. Dude, I'll spend another 2 to 4 hours a night working on YouTube stuff.
And
So,
that
like,
doesn't even count real estate.
doesn't even count real estate. If I have that, bro, that's a whole other thing. If my wife's business needs me to go move furniture, she's an interior designer, that's a whole other thing, dude. So, like, life's busy, dude, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, it is awesome. I'm very
I always try to tell people when they ask me, like, you know, even like my wife, who doesn't quite get the concept of everything yet, as far as like, hey, I got to go make this review. I got to make this 15-minute review. And I'm in here for 4.5 hours. And she's like, I thought you said this was 15 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, the end product is, but like your favorite movie, whatever that is, like, they don't film that, you know, 2-hour movie in 2 hours.
I mean,
that thing takes like 8 months.
I mean,
so
Mike,
I think
we
we're
could
doing
spend
pretty damn good, you know, spending a day on a 15-minute video. These dudes, it takes them a couple months, 8 months to do 2 hours. Like, we're killing them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we'll spend what, Mike, between you and I mean, I know I could spend an hour on a thumbnail sometimes.
Yeah.
Designing my thumbnail perfectly.
That's because you're not very good at them.
Mike is the thumbnail whisperer. Mike makes a lot of our thumbnails, and Mike doesn't have many talents, but making thumbnails is one of Mike's talents.
Yeah, like eating. I haven't tried competitive yet, but eating, drinking, and thumbnails. Like, I'm your dude.
Locked in, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a massive amount of time, and then, like, if we gotta go film, right? Like, I've already done 20, 30 hours of prep work for this. So then we go to film, right? So we leave Jake's house at 7. We're usually back at like 8 at night. We spend 2 to 3 hours on set per product, and we usually film 3 to 4 videos a day. So like that's kind of how the math checks out. So it's we
you're trying to bank them, like you're banking a couple of them.
You nailed it. So we try to, because I'm only up there for 2 days to film, right? So we try to film 5 to 7 videos in 2 days.
What do y'all drop? I mean, I know it may change, but like, are you we drop every week?
Yep.
We drop. Okay.
Yeah. So every Friday, and then we're playing around with also 1, maybe 2 times a month, dropping a video on a Tuesday. But we used to always drop a video Tuesday and Friday. So I mean,
yeah, you do the math. I mean,
like, dude,
it's a lot of
that's
production.
a lot. It's a lot. And so we switched recently to where we drop a video each week, sometimes 2 videos. That just depends. And then we're banking some extra videos. And what that afforded us is we wrapped filming December 12th last year.
Yeah.
We don't film again until March 12th because we have some banked stuff.
Good.
Dude,
nice.
Dude, it's our first break in 4 years. And like,
vacation.
Dude, I haven't thought about YouTube or research product in like 2 months, and like I could cry. I've been so happy, dude. It's been real nice to get a break. But March 12th,
gotta fill
it's like go time
that
again.
funnel again.
So let me ask you about this then. So, because I think you're much more well versed than we are. We're trying to figure it out. We're just understanding YouTube now. We're starting to see some growth on Shorts, and we're getting more followers. But we still can't figure out the algorithm on YouTube. Have you mastered it, or is it just because there's some shorts we'll get like 9,000 views, and some shorts will get like 500 views. It's like we can't figure it out.
Yeah. So shorts started taking off because YouTube wanted to kind of take over the TikTok style of videos with shorts, right?
Yeah.
So the algorithm started pushing those really hard, maybe 6-8 months ago, from my understanding. The problem with shorts is if you look at analytics, that doesn't translate to long-term viewers for your more long-form stuff, right? No. So some channels were going super heavy on shorts, getting tons of views and stuff, but their overall analytics drop because now the numbers don't jive, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we didn't really lean heavy on shorts, so I can't speak too much other than that on them. But we used to try to keep videos between like 25 and 30 minutes, and then end of last year we started doing long form, like hour-long videos. Okay. And we've seen a good response to both of those still. So like that's a nice little check in the checkbox. We know we can do long form, some 30-minute stuff. And then the biggest thing is thumbnails have to be consistent, engaging, captivating, and you try to always link a face to the content. So like, right, if all 3 of your faces are always in the thumbnail, that's always a good thing because then people have a visual reference for what they're going to watch.
Yeah.
Right. Another short little thing is, if you're watching a video and you put your cursor over another video, it just has the captions.
Yeah.
So your video should always start with something in captions, someone speaking, so people can get an idea of like what the next video in your queue is going to be about. And then one of the big things we're trying to implement, I'm not very good at it, is just jumping right into the video. Like, today we have this, this, and this, where usually I start with, how's it going, guys? Hope everything's going good. Like,
it's fair.
Maybe
it's
I'm
hard.
a little too
it's
relaxed.
Hard to do.
Yeah, it is. It is. And Jake's good at it because he's a soulless ginger, so he's just like, we're getting into it,
it's like you're like us. Like, you're just like, man, don't just pull my hair. Like, let me at least like, hey, how's it going? This is my name.
Foreplay. I like
Here's
some
why I'm
foreplay.
here.
On the ass,
I want some foreplay. Yeah.
I want to
they
get warmed up, dude.
Just go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So which video? I wanted to ask. So you've gave us some analytics stuff, and of course you guys are way well versed than we are, and that's okay. We're going to get there one day because we always got to have goals. How was the feeling? And I guess when you actually saw it, and I guess I'm asking, when did you know, like, oh shit, even though there's no money, like, damn, we made it. Like, like what video stood out where it was like, oh gosh, like all this work is like, damn, it paid off.
Let's see here. There's been a couple ones like that. Like, again, the HK project was our first big, like,
Yeah.
dude, it's HK, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you hit. Yeah, that's awesome.
there's that. You guys know that singer Jelly Roll that's big right now?
Yeah.
Who?
I know Jason.
Oh, okay. So he has a saying he's been saying is, don't be too famous to not be a fan, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying we're anybody, but like, dude, I still geek out that anyone works with us, but let alone HK. And so I
Yeah.
think that bank of footage that we did there with them was my first, like, hey, I'm not saying we're good at this, but like, there
We
might be a
doing
little
something.
something, right?
Yeah, we doing something.
And then like a couple months after that, B&T reached out. They wanted to work with us. So like,
That's awesome.
it
Pressure.
probably wasn't like a one aha moment, but if there was, it'd be that first time working with HK. Like, dude, they flew out with like $2 million worth of guns, and we're just like, figure it out. Like,
Okay.
I don't know, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Got you.
yeah. And so, but then there's a lot of pressure with that. The idea of like, if you quote unquote made it, is, dude, you got to keep raising that bar, and if that's the standard now, like, you can't slouch on anything. So that's
Yeah.
the pros and cons of trying to raise the bar. Is like, can't go back, only forward. Got to keep leveling up. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if
So
that
you
answers
have
your
to-
question.
What's
Yeah,
after
no, yeah, 'cause
HK
it's
and
like-
B&T?
Okay, and B&T, those are pretty big. It lets you
Yeah.
know, like, damn.
Damn.
And just like you said, you have to reinvent yourself and reinvent your channel
Yep.
almost every film session. I mean, I know you guys might film and bank, 3 to 8 or 10, whatever you do, but like the next time you film, you're like, all right, well, we took it up to this level last time. The bare minimum we can do is that level.
Yep.
Yeah.
If we want to go up, how can we do that? And you're constantly recreating yourself. And I
Yeah.
think that's a hard trait in itself, because a lot of people like to get stuck spinning their wheels, just, hey, this is who I am and this is what I'm going to be. And I heard you say something on the other podcast where you were talking about, like, you're already shooting guns. You're already, filming it because that's just what you're doing. Like, why don't we just play by the rules and shoot for monetization? I mean, is it bending the knee? I mean, if you want to get granular, maybe, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's their platform you're using anyway. So if you're posting there, why not try to recoup something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Amen.
This is a funny thing that people say, like, money's never been super important to me. Like, if I can pay my bills, play with a little bit of my hobbies, dude, I drive a Tundra. If I was a billionaire, I'd drive that same fucking truck, dude. I don't fucking care.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Money does add some, breathing room for a lot of us, right?
For sure.
But the idea too is just like, we got to start covering some costs. Like, we felt we've done enough work now. We've kind of proven what we can do, shown people, and like, we got to make some money. Like, we got to at least cover some costs, dude. And so,
Yeah.
do we got to bend the knee so we can? That's the question too. Is like, do you need to bend the knee a little bit so you can continue to do the thing?
Yeah.
Because then it's kind of stupid. Like, hey, if we don't bend the knee a little bit, and we can't afford to do this anymore, the last 4 years can just
For
like,
nothing.
Yeah.
dude, all that time away from my wife, that, my hot tub, like all the things I love, what was the whole point, right? So we bend the knee a little bit, but we always kind of come back to the fact, like, dude, I'm not selling out, man. I don't care what the paycheck is. If your product sucks, it just is what it is, man. Like, I would rather sleep at night than any amount of money, So I guess it's,
Yeah.
we don't bend the knee that way. Maybe we bend the knee a little bit so we can keep the show going. I I don't know if that really
That's-
answers it, but
No, it does, and that's kind of how we are. I mean, we've had a couple people like little ticky tack stuff, and I mean, it's not a big deal. We appreciate everything, but we tell people like, hey, we do reviews on stuff we personally own because we want to tell people exactly what we think of it. And when people say, hey, we want you to do a review of our stuff, we're going to send it out to you. We tell them like, hey, we're going to be honest. And if there's, out of 10 topics, if there's 7 negatives and only 3 positives, I will definitely list your 3 positives for you.
Yep,
But
that's fair.
I'm also going to say this isn't a product for everyone. I probably wouldn't use it, but I could see where someone, trying to polish that turd, hey, I see where someone could possibly want that, but not me.
Yep.
Because I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to sell out. But we even tell people, and it's worked for us a little, is like, hey, if you want to send us something, fine, send it. We will package it right back up and send it back when we're done. I'm not asking for anything for free. We don't want to owe you anything, and we don't want you to owe us anything. Like, this is mutually beneficial, and it's worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, on the flip side too, if you built this audience and this platform with your blood, sweat, tears, and money, and like you're now trying to make a couple bucks from it or break even, like,
you don't want somebody else telling you what to do.
Like free guns, right? Like, and that's cool, dude. I never thought in my life someone would be like, hey, here's a free gun, just let me know what you think. That's awesome. That amount of that gun does not equate every penny in my savings that I've ever made. Every penny is in that channel. That $2,000 rifle ain't nowhere close to that, dude. It's not.
Nope.
Yeah.
But it can help to kind of switch the curve, turn the tide a little bit. And, there's some videos we can't monetize because there's full auto stuff in it, right? We do a lot of full auto stuff. So even though we're monetized, we know like, hey man, we can't show this 240 Bravo in semi-auto. Okay?
Yeah.
Like what are we doing here? Right? So you know what? We're going to take a hit on that. And then of course that video gets a shit ton of views.
Yeah.
We're not going to see a dime from it, dude. But we try to play that game a little bit. It just is what it is. Like, you own a business, man. Like, we got to start thinking business-wise at some point. So
Sure.
Yeah, that's what we've found on the shorts really helps, and it's so funny. What we've found is we'll do like, people don't care on shorts, and that's what kills me. Adam's our cinematographer. He's the Steven Spielberg of the group. Like,
yeah.
I'm like the guy who just does like the documentary and just like, yeah, we're going to video this shit.
No.
Yeah.
He likes the flames and the lightning bolts and the theatrics and the background music and all that stuff. He'll put his blood, sweat, and tears into this 10-second video, and it gets like, it got 35 likes. No, what was it last time I picked on him? 82 people.
Yeah,
it was
well,
a
on
tourniquet
Instagram,
video he did.
Instagram loves it.
But he did this thing, and he was like, these dudes love this. And I was like, yeah, 82 of them to be exact. 82 fucking people liked it. But, it's crazy, but we did find that thing, and I'm sure you guys use it too, using the full auto stuff in your shorts and then linking it to your real video. Like, it definitely is a interesting thing, because then it takes people over to it, and it's like, oh shit, looky there.
Yeah.
But that was kind of my statement. But my follow-up question to that is, what are your hopes going forward? I know you got some time to step away, spend a lot of good time with the wife, spend a little bit more time with your hot tub.
That's it.
Pet your dog in between. What are your hopes for 1911 in the future?
Yeah, so the end goal will be, like, if at some point we could make some money and like get a bigger production budget. Jake has some stuff planned that is like, this would be the first time I've ever said this on anything. It'd like break the internet type shit if we could get a little bit bigger budget, because he's such a wild man with all this. So the goal would be keep growing the channel without compromising morals or ethics. That's always number one for me. Keep having fun and doing it because I want to, right? Jake and I had a talk a little while ago because we were burnt out, dude. Like, at the end of that 4 years, he was like, hey man, are you still having fun? And I'm like, yeah, just need a break, dude. So like, our goal is instituting this break at that time of the year every year from here on out. So that's another goal. And then just keep growing to where eventually, like, I'd like to not work a full-time job and
That'd
just
be nice.
be able to double down and put 2 full-time jobs into the channel if it ever reaches that point. But just keep pushing the ball forward, dude. Like, I suck at all this stuff, so I'm always playing catch-up. So my personal goals are just to continue to meet the standard, if not exceed it, for what Jake wants for the channel. Yeah. So, yeah.
Rad.
Did that answer it? I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, it did. Hell yeah.
So, Chris, I know that you're not a 1911 guy, but obviously you're a partner in
That's
1911
ironic.
Syndicate. But I mean, obviously you do have some experience, and like a lot of good experience with some pretty nice options out there. So let's say Glock never existed, and you had to pick a 1911 that's available on the market right now. What would it be?
Yeah. So like getting into guns, my first gun ever given to me was a officer length para ordnance double stack 45. So like.
God's caliber.
My dad, great little carry gun, like
2 world wars.
it was so worn down. It went full auto in a class, which was kind of cool. Like rode the lightning a little bit.
You had a switch, huh?
Yeah, and then from there I went to a single stack 1911. Fast forward, went to Glock, and now a little bit of both. So for me, I think a 2011. So can I switch it to
That's fine.
1911 platform? But if I were to go, my Staccato P, dude, had 13,000 rounds on it, 0 malfunctions, great gun. But for me, if I'm going to choose one, I got into this when like Chris Costa and all those guys were in their heyday with single stack comped 1911s and 9mm with like extended mags. So it's like 12 round mags, you know. I tried to be a cop for a long time, and I was like, dude, if I ever get on a department, that is the gun that I want. So like there's this old like Chris Costa single stack. I think it was a I don't remember the Nighthawk model, but Nighthawk did it for him. Single stack, 9mm comped with like 12 round mags.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty badass gun. It's just nostalgic for me. But on the flip side, Springfield's coming out with some new stuff in the TRP line that looks super interesting. So like, again, not an answer. I'm terrible at that. Like, there's just so much good stuff on the market now. It's really hard for me to like pick one, you know. But if I had to pick one in 45, if we're going to go traditional, those TRP Springfield operators are pretty awesome.
Hell yeah. So I also kind of consider myself like a champion of the pores. I'm a pretty blue collar guy myself.
I'm poor as fuck too. I got alimony child support. Okay.
Hey, that's your own damn fault.
You did that.
Fault, yeah.
I'm kidding.
yeah. I'm still married. So, but like, would you feel comfortable in suggesting an entry to the 1911 platform, like sub $1,200 or like sub $1,000? I mean, obviously, there's some really subpar options out there as well, but like something that somebody might find pretty quality and it still be expandable and tunable and have aftermarket support under $1,000.
Yeah, so Jake recently did a video on those T-Sauce 1911s.
T-Sauce.
Dude, and he is a snob, man. He's Infinities, Nighthawks, like he's a snob.
Yeah.
Dude, usually when we film videos, I try not to learn about what he's doing so I can have an authentic reaction and still be a fan of what he's doing right there in the moment, right? Like, I love not knowing what he's doing. So in real time, I can have, like, the experience of being a gun guy like we all are, you know?
Right.
Dude, I thought he was going to shit all over that gun. And, like, when we first started filming, I'm like, dude, are you going to roast this thing? And he's like, dude, this gun's fucking awesome. And I was like, yeah, dude. Like, what do you have lined up to roast it? And he's like, no, seriously. This gun for sub $1,000, he's had 0 issues with. Fit and finish was fine. No malfunctions. I shot it that whole day, no malfunctions. And from all the comments in the video, everyone that has those has the same experience. So, like, those T-Sauce 1911s, man,
Damn.
I started looking at him because of your video, and I know that Jake is a snob, and he's like, I want to say something horrible about this because it was like $600, but it just fucking works.
Just works. Just
Yeah.
works. And,
All right,
you know,
cool.
we're all blue collar gun guys at some point too. Jake is a one off, and some of the other people, but like, dude, guns are an expensive hobby, man. Like we are starting kind of two avenues of the channel. Jake likes the big theatrical, some of the more expensive stuff. We realize the trend is I do some of that blue collar, real working man type reviews. So we are going to start featuring more products like that on the channel for the average gun consumer. Both, one, because I'd enjoy that. Two, it's a smart move for the channel, right? That opens up a different audience, a bigger audience. And not everyone... Dude, I still don't have a Nighthawk. I probably will never have money for one, dude. Like, I'm going to be with the T-sauce and stuff
if you
like that.
do have the money, like, are you going to buy the Nighthawk, or are you going to just take that money and buy 2 or 3 things that you'd... I mean, and that's the thing. I realize it blows my mind. It's the country, and it's in and of itself. But for the longest time, if someone said, "Oh yeah, man, like I just paid $1,500 for this pistol," people are like, "Are you
That used
crazy?"
to be a ridiculously expensive pistol.
It's like there's 2 tiers in rifles. I don't care if it's bolt action, if it's ARs, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, pistols, whole nine. Like, there's this Gucci God tier that is like 2,000, up.
As Mike
And
is pointing to his sugar weasel up there. I love it.
Yeah.
It's the poor gun. It's the gun. Look, it is the gun. It's the poor man's honey badger. I can't help it. I put a peck and a damn GBRS on it and everything else. That's my fault, not his.
Yeah.
50 racks hanging on Mike's wall.
Yeah,
Seriously, dude.
But hey, the best gun.
The
This
tequila
one.
gun.
It holds bourbon.
It's full of whiskey.
So, but it's seriously, like, you look at this stuff and you've got your poor bashing Gucci guys, and then you've got your guys that are getting into, and I love what you're doing there on your channel, you personally, because you've got the new guys that are coming into the 2A that don't know what's good, what's bad, and when they go to these top tier guys, they just get poor bashed because they can't go out and buy the Staccato. They can't go out and afford the Sugar Weasel, the Honey Badger, the LMT, the Noveski, the Sons of Liberty, whatever it is. They can't afford it. And so it's like, well, dang, I don't want you to buy junk. So if, like what you're doing, like if I can give you a review on a sub 500, a sub 700, a sub 1,000, like everybody here works hard for their money, no matter how you manage it and how you spend it, whether it's wisely or poorly. Every one of us works hard for our money, and so does everybody else in this country. Well, you should.
Yeah.
So it's like, every penny counts.
Yeah.
And that, I try to stay active in DMs and like answer questions, because coming up in this, I'd shoot people that I followed that I looked up to questions, right? And it was always awesome when they'd respond. So I've always tried to do that. And I get guys, college kids, young guys starting out at this, or like, some people, look, man, they just never, this isn't a bad thing, but some people don't have the opportunity to potentially make more, whether that's where they live or like family circumstances. Like, it's never black and white, much like anything in this world. Right?
No.
But I get all these DMs like, hey, I'm thinking of saving up for this Nighthawk. And I'm like, cool. Do you have 2 pistols with all your magazine pouches, all built out, kitted out? No, I don't. Okay, check that
You
box.
don't need the Nighthawk.
Yeah.
We'll get you a Glock or a Sig, trim it out first.
I always say buy
Then
2
step
Glocks
again. Yeah.
Buy 2 Glocks, kit them out, learn them, run them, save one for like crap hits the fan, have one for beater, however you want to divvy those up, right? Another thing, rifles. Hey, I'm thinking of getting this Knight's Armament, yada, yada, yada. That rifle, BCM, $1,300. I rebarreled it at 20,000 rounds. It's fallen off roofs, trucks. It's been beat to shit.
BCM,
Like, Knight's
baby.
is cool, dude. but maybe get 2 or 3 BCMs, kit them out, so you know you're good to go for that.
Yep.
Do you and then we're going to get into other stuff. Do you have all your medical stuff figured out? No? Okay. That almost comes before the other stuff. Could be argued both ways, right? See? Do you have body armor and a plate carrier or chest rigs? No? Okay, check that box. So now we have everything we need. Now let's look into some Gucci stuff. If it affords it, let's build to this, right? Get all your training on this stuff, then get into some other stuff. And then, of course, people bring up night vision. And I'm like, check 100 other boxes before that. It's cool. And it's
the
awesome
best thing
to
ever.
have the availability of it now.
Yes.
But, like, dude, like, you don't need to go drop 12 grand on nods if you don't have any of the things that I just said before.
Facts,
Can you?
facts.
Sure. It's America,
So-
capitalism.
So
But
do you deal with Kevin Kevlar from Custom Night Vision?
I need to,
He's
so the
my boy.
shop I'm managing, I need to have a phone call with him to figure out how to get some nods and stuff in there. But I know, I know him pretty well.
Yeah, so I'm a dealer for his stuff too.
Awesome.
And yeah, I love Kevlar. So I tell everybody that wants night vision, because I sell it in Nashville because there's not a lot of people.
Yep.
And my first question is, okay, you want night vision? Cool. I'm not going to, it's your money, buy what you want. But I'm not going to sell you junk. So if you're wanting entry-level night vision, man, go find it somewhere else, because you're going to get a tube. It's going to have some peppering. It's going to have a spot in the middle. You're going to hate it. You're going to want your money back. And I'm going to tell you, no, like, these things are grown. Like, basically, these tubes are grown. So, like, you get what you get. Secondly, and it's almost more important, what are you going to do with these, and who of your friends has them?
Right.
Most of the time I have people that say, well, I'm the first one of my friends that has them. And I'm like, take your money, put it in a coffee can or whatever, bury it outside, whatever. And the moment the first friend of yours buys night vision, pull that stuff out and order it. If you're the only guy with night vision, you're going to go outside and look at the stars, and you're going to LARP around in your living room for a little bit, and you're never going to play with it again. Because while night vision is a superpower, if nobody around you has it, you're so bored with it. And you've got, if it's a PVS 14, you got $5 grand tied up in something that, yeah, you can go do some low light yourself, but like, it's so boring. Like, it's,
But it looks good on
then,
the gram. But it looks good on the gram.
it's hard to film night vision on the gram unless you have a good camera and an adapter anyway. So like, it's not for the gram. And then you need a second one, because you need the PVS 14 for your camera,
you put yours on the
and
camera.
then you need it. So it's like, it's not even for the gram. It's like, what is this?
What is this?
that and like, great example, dude. And even if you have friends, there's 300 people I could call right now and go shoot night vision. Ask me the last time I've done it, dude. It's been months. Because when you first get it, you run the shit out of it for like 2 months, and then usually it's sitting in my hot tub looking at the stars, picking up dog food with my nods on, or LARPing in the house when my wife's at dinner with all her girlfriends.
Yeah.
So like, I'd
Or
rather
you're like,
check all those other boxes before that, right? And again, like, I'm thankful we can do it. In 13 years of doing this is the best the gun industry is as far as products and training and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I do think there is a crawl, walk, run to all this. Again,
Agreed.
if you can go straight to running, God bless you, and then just get solid training and uplift other people that don't have that opportunity, right? Like, maybe that's how you can justify it.
I mean,
But-
Chris, in this industry too, I remember you mentioned this, and I agree. You mentioned if you want to get into this industry, there's gates, right? You should have to pay your dues, right? It's not,
There's tolls.
there's no fast pass. This ain't Great America with a fast pass. Like, you got to pay your dues, and it's because there are people nowadays that feel like maybe they're entitled to a certain spot because maybe they got some viewers, but like, it's not the way it works.
It's not. And like, dude, I'm right, wrong, or indifferent. I always try to just say this is always my opinion, but the value and knowledge I gained working a gun counter, going to these events with my own money, paying my own way, making connections, way before YouTube, set it up so when I started that next evolution of my career in the gun industry, like, I was set up to kind of do it a little bit easier. But that's because I spent 8 years previously making no money behind a gun counter, doing my best to be a part of the community.
Let's build a network.
Nowadays, can you make a phone call and you know so-and-so, and with social media, it's a little bit easier? Sure. But the value I learned from that, then growing into a different capacity within the industry, I wouldn't trade that for anything, man. Like, knowing how to work a gun counter lets you understand, like, 99% of the people you're going to talk to in the gun industry. Because, like,
Agreed.
They're all different shapes and sizes. Some are FUD, some are not, but you got to work with all of them. So,
100%. 100%.
So back to your recommendations. You just gave Matt a recommendation for his 1911. Maybe I heard this wrong. Are you a bourbon guy? Did I hear you're a bourbon guy?
I am. I don't drink too much, but if I do drink and hard liquor, it's bourbon.
All right. So what? Money's not an object, and everything is readily available. I'm a bourbon snob. You could go, and I'm not going to judge you because everybody's palates are different, and that's what I love about bourbon. So what I think is the best may not be the best for you. What's your go-to if money's not an object and you're like, hey, I'm going to go get this bottle?
Just a good, this is what most real bourbon guys say to guys like me that I don't know bourbon, Jake being one of them. My favorite bottle to this day is Blanton's, man. Like that was some of the first hard liquor I ever drank. It's smooth. I just enjoy Blanton's. It's nostalgic, so there's probably some more of that, But I did have Pappy goes up to 23, I believe. Pappy Van Winkle.
You've got a 10, a 12, a 15, and a 20, and a 23.
Okay. So I had, for my birthday, this bar gave me a glass of 23, which was awesome, right? Mm-hmm. I then had the 12. I'm not good enough to know the fucking difference, dude. So, like, if money's no object, I'm still going to 12 Pappy.
So my favorite out of the Pappy, my favorite isn't even considered Pappy. It's the 10-year. I've got a couple bottles of 23, and I personally think it tastes like an old shoe. And I'm just like, eh.
If that's your thing, then yeah.
But anybody that tells you, like, oh, and maybe this is just my opinion, oh, I get the cloves and the caramel and the toasted toffee and the warm, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't taste any of that shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't burn and it's smooth, so I can drink it. I don't taste that other shit you're telling me. Like, I like this because it tastes good.
If it burns, they have medication for that. But that you might be talking about something else.
Adam keeps a ready prescription. He's used to that. He gets it out of Mexico.
Yes.
No prescription required.
Doc will take care of you, promise you. But to piggyback off that, what is if there was no price? What is your cigar choice? I know you're a cigar guy, so what is your ultimate cigar?
So, dang it, my humidor's in the truck. So our good boy Brent Tucker started First Responders Cigar Company.
Oh
yes.
Right
there. Is that the Bravo?
I got both.
He's got both.
Alpha.
He's a baller.
There's the Bravo. Yep.
Yeah.
So my favorite all-around stick is a Rocky Patel Natural 20th Year.
Great choice. Great choice.
I can smoke it morning, noon, night. I don't feel like shit the next day. It is it is my number one favorite cigar. Probably tied for number one. The closest thing to that for a company that I support, I know the owner personally, my next cigar is that Bravo, dude. Like, I saw Brent 2 days ago. We had a Bravo. And I'm dude, I'm going to tell you, this is tied real close for what I look for in my first cigar, or my favorite cigar, being that Rocky Patel. So I've been smoking a decent amount of those Bravos.
They're nice.
Dude, it's a great stick. It's smooth no matter what you're doing, man.
They're so different, too, because I was going to say I like the Opus. I like an Opus X, but not a lot. Some people love them. Some people hate them. I mean, now, granted, if you can get a true... if I can get the true, it's the green tube. Which one is that? It's the true Cuban. I got them when I went. Man, they are so good. It's like a Maduro. Damn, they're good. But if you can't get a true Cuban cigar, man, those are so good. Brent's supposed to be sending me some up, but I can't wait.
Some stuff coming out that looks interesting.
Yeah.
So would the Bravo be your suggestion for a stick under 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on where people are with cigars, that or that Rocky Patel. Or if you want something with a little more pepper to it, there's a company called Romacraft. They have a stick called the Neanderthal, which look like
Hey,
caveman,
that's you.
dude.
That's you, dude.
I don't know why it fits, right?
Yeah. It's
Some
not even
things are
all-
just meant to be, dude.
Yeah, this wasn't even in the cliff notes. How long have you grown your beard out?
Man, so I haven't shaved since like let's see here.
Second grade.
Yeah. 2019 was the last time I shaved, I believe.
Okay.
And it used to be like down here. Went to go get a trim, mistakes were made. I had to chop it all off pretty short and then start again. But yeah, I'm not cutting my hair, my beard ever again. Probably, I don't care anymore. Just
Hell
letting
yeah.
it go. So
Hell yeah.
the only thing I do good in life is grow hair, dude.
Damn. Well, Chris, I think we've made it just about to the end of this, dude. I appreciate it. And at
Hell
this
yeah.
point, tell all the listeners that have stayed on this long where they can find you. Like, go ahead and plug your channels.
Yeah, so the YouTube channel with my business partner Jake, he'll be the redheaded angry dude in the videos. It's called 1911 Syndicate. Same on our Instagram, it's just 1911 Syndicate. And then my personal one is just Chris Blau, all lowercase, no spaces. We got some fun stuff coming up. The greatest part of this is being able to meet homies. You know, none of us have met in person yet, but thanks to technology, we can all enjoy the passion of firearms in our own way, but also together. And just thank you boys for having me on. I know it's a Sunday. You guys are, taking time away from your family, so thank you for what you guys do and for the sacrifices you guys make to do your content, man. Thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. You're a trooper too, man. You just came back from shot. Damn near, even though you didn't fly back, you got some lag, it's there, and you got to go do something tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're soaking up all his hot tub time. Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
Hey,
dude,
Chris,
it's not even. I usually go to sleep at like 2 a.m., boys, so we still got 8 hours of good hot tub time left.
Okay, good. Good.
Chris,
All right,
Chris,
all right.
Chris, we
deal.
really appreciate you coming on, man. I want to say this: of all the people in the gun industry, dude, you are I wish you were the standard. You should be the standard. You're just a good dude, man. When I had 400 or 500 subscribers, I reached out to you. You DM me back. I can testify to that. You do, man. You don't have a status where you think you're this. You are a good dude, man. I appreciate you. I do ask one thing though. And I think the fans need this from you. We need a picture of you in the hot tub smoking a cigar with your night vision on.
Okay, we'll make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that.
The hot tub got lights and stuff too.
Oh
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
dude.
Oh, yeah,
Nothing
let's-
crazy, but we can make them purple, blue, red, just
Oh,
really
okay.
good lighting.
Perfect.
Hell
Look at
yeah.
the stars.
Matt, what you got, brother?
Honestly, what shows, events are you gonna go to next? You just did SHOT Show. Are you gonna do Pew Party? Are you a Kalash basher? What's next for you?
So Juan over at Pew Party, we got to meet up at SHOT Show. Hey, that's
Hell
a
yeah.
solid dude. He is
Cool dude.
I think from day one just been genuinely kind and very just loving, dude. That's a solid dude.
Yeah, dude. Juan, Jay the Shooter,
Yep.
Bob Lee Swagger, dude. All of them.
All
All
my
of them are
boys.
stand up.
Nice guys.
Yep. Yeah, and much needed in the industry, man. We need people from different backgrounds and cultures, and I love those guys from day one. They've been nothing but, like I said, kind, sweet. The gun industry is so awesome now with a lot of good people from just everywhere in the world. It's the heyday of the gun industry. But let's see here. I'm gonna try to make it to Pew Party.
Cool.
Well,
Now
we
that
might
I'm
be
not
seeing you
working-
there.
Yeah, let's. I'm really gonna try to make that happen.
Okay.
I'm not working for a manufacturer doing sales anymore, so the shows are now only gonna be shows that I personally
for
want
fun?
to go to. Yes,
Perfect.
for fun. And so I got to sit down and make a calendar this year and get after it. But Pew Party is on my list of number one thing this year.
So
All right,
if you
man.
get out there and go, if you do go, get at us. We're chopping up a few different ideas of whether we're going hotel or whether we're doing VRBO, whether we're going to do, maybe a little get together. We've got a couple picked out that, we can sit out back and, smoke a couple sticks and just shoot the shit for a while. And, hell,
Yep.
if you just need a place to crash, let us know. We'll be out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, we're gonna.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, let me figure out schedules. And dude, thank you guys for that offer. I'll do some work this week and figure that out and get some stuff on the books.
Sell some
Let's
guns
go.
Yeah.
so you can get a trip out there.
Yeah, there you
Oh
go.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, Chris, once again, dude, we appreciate the time. We thank you
Very
for
much.
coming on. And if you need anything from us, don't hesitate to ask. We got you, bro.
Same. Thank you for the kind words too, Adam. Really appreciate it. Like, it just, no one's too cool to be a fan. Like where I am in the industry, I don't see as like anything important. I'm just a normal dude that got into this, and I have a chance to learn from like really high level professionals and get that information out. So thank you guys for giving me a place to do that. So
Hell yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
all right, guys, get back to the family. Everyone be happy, healthy, and safe. Love you all.
Hey guys, I think that about wraps up for today. It was a great show. Once again, guys, check the link in the bios. We'll have links to Pew Party that's coming up. Hey, SHOT Show recap was amazing. Also, Chris, awesome interview. Go check him out as well. 1911 Syndicate. Guys, if you haven't already, go over, sub to us, Whiskey and Windage, at YouTube, or you can go over to Spotify, Apple, Google, all of the above. Actually, do all the above. Link, subscribe, all notifications, guys. We appreciate it. Also, don't forget, we have the Whiskey and Windage review page on YouTube. Go over there. Awesome. Every week we're doing a review. And guys, I think that about wraps up for today.